Greetings fellow girls, guys and gamers, this is Small Archangel. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Rising World Survival. And as you can see, here in the base of our lighthouse, I have taken advantage of the darkness to add some more high-tech looking lighting, just so that we have got all-around visibility in here, which is rather better than the tiki torches that we had in here previously. I have also done some work to the outside, the garden area, which we did last week in the last episode. But before we take a look at that, I am going to just sleep the rest of the night away so you get to see it in the glory of daylight. We've still got our we're still basically living down here, so we've got our tent and we've also got our little campfire here, and that is something we are going to try and remedy in this episode. We're basically going to do as much as resources and time will allow with sorting out the living area of our lighthouse. So if you'll bear with me, we will get some shut-eye and I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, here we go. So, let's head up, and first of all, I will show you... Oh, great, it's lovely and foggy again. In the last episode, this is what we did. We did our little garden area here, and very nice it's looking too. I've tidied up the path a little bit since you last saw it, and also, I have sort of started the path going off in that direction, but I haven't got ever so far, to be honest. It's a real devil to level. Our crops are coming on lovely here. We obviously need to add some more in there. I've got a gap in my melons for some reason. I've no idea why, and then we've got a big space that we can put some more crops in down here as well. But I've added a couple of little bits. I felt like the garden was kind of lacking slightly, so I've put a gateway through here. We've got a little paved area with a barbecue. Well, it's a smoker, but hey, it's a barbecue to all intents and purposes, and a little seating area so that we can sit and enjoy the view over the lake, although I am looking backwards over my own shoulder in that seat there. Yeah, and have a little bit of a barbecue there. And then something that every self-respecting lighthouse should have, which is a jetty. And when... or she crosses her fingers here, if we get the option with our player models to get a scuba diving suit, we're going to be going diving from here. Well, we're kind of not, because really we jump in and paddle pretty much. But hey, it is still a pretty good springboard for us to get. What I might put a little ladder going up there, actually. That might be quite good. We had something like that with the lake house as well. But yeah, I decided I had to make sort of a little jetty out the back there. If we're ever able to fish, that would also be a fantastic place to do a little bit of angling. So there you go, folks. Oh, I've also, you can't see from here, but I've also tidied up the fencing around the top portion of the lighthouse and added some outside lights there as well. So our outside lighting is all done now. The fence doesn't actually... Oh, it's just redrawing the map for us. There we go. It does that every time I change something. Yeah, the path just needs to kind of carry on in this direction. Again, the game doesn't seem to realise I have a garden. It hasn't actually paid any attention to that, so maybe it's not quite updated that yet. And our path will ultimately go all the way over to this one here so that we can easily navigate our way around, even without referring to the map. Now all we need in the game is gates. But anyway, before we get on to that, we have got... a huge... I keep doing that, so annoying. We have got a huge living area here with fog in it, nicely, which we need... I love open plan. It's great. We need to somehow turn into a kitchen, pantry, open plan living area. So we're going to start out with the kitchen, because I have a feeling that could be a pain in the proverbial, because we're going to have this diagonal wall here that we're going to have to try and put cabinets along, and I hope it works. We're going to have to place a fridge, probably, well, going to have to place a fridge on one of the straight walls, aren't we? Quite which one, I don't know. Really, all I want is cabinets going this way, and then here as well. I suppose we're going to do the fridge in a block way that we usually do, but diagonal blocks, it's just going to be the widest fridge in the world, I think, so we'll maybe have to put it here. I'm not sure. Anyway, so the first thing we're going to do then, let's just see. I want to place a block fridge, as I say, stone. No, we don't really want that. What is it we normally use for a fridge? There we are. Let's just see how many of these we're going to need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 16, I think, but I'm not entirely sure. So let's just make 12 of them for the... Oh, I just made 24 anyway. Hey ho, that was more than I actually strictly intended. There we go. And we need block, block, block. No, we don't want block. We want the saw bench. We need to make ourselves some. I think it's under table, which is a bit strange, really. And there we go. We still only got the one finish for our kitchen, but this is quite an appropriate finish for our lighthouse here. That's a blank one with no cupboards at all. We're probably going to need one of those for a corner, so we'll take one of those. Oh, and we're going to need to make some more lumber, of course. So let's just max that and get a load of lumber. And then let's see, we're going to be doing this a little bit by feel, and again, as usual, there's going to be lots of editing. Corner. I would like to have some corners, yes. Let's just put one of those in. Oh, and we want one of those. Oh, we need iron plate for the sink, but we will definitely have a sink. We might need a half, but I don't know yet, or a third, or whatever. But for the moment, let's just make sure we got a few of those. Okay, here we go. So this is our blank, I think, which is perhaps going to have to go in a corner here. There we go, because we're going to have, yeah, we're going to have our units go across here, which is going to be a bit of a pain with that there, to be honest. Maybe what I should do, I don't know, maybe I should put something a little bit lower there. And of course we're going to need a cooker somewhere in here too. No, what we're going to do first and foremost, we need to have our units coming along here to sort of divide the room off a little bit. And we might need, maybe we're better off then leaving that little bit there blank, because in any case we're going to find it extremely difficult to get this to match up, and this is something I'm probably going to have to do with grids turned off going in that direction there. But yeah, we might be better off just leaving this as it is, because we're not going to be able to get these to match up anyway, I don't think, and that's going to block half the window, which will look a little bit strange. So let's start here. I'm not going to do the corner because that's not the most useful. We want ones with actual cupboards in if we can manage it. Okay, I'll put... Now, again, I think we perhaps want... Yeah, we perhaps want grids off for this, because otherwise we can't really see where we're putting things. And we want this to go absolutely right up to the wall. There we are, and that leaves us plenty of space to get through here, which is great. And then we're going to need more of them coming out in this direction, and we're also going to want to make a sink as well. I'll probably put, maybe I'll put the fridge there, I'm not sure. We've got a very large kitchen space here, and it may be that the best thing we can do is have a kind of a little island with our cooker in it. I'm not sure, but that divides the room off nicely, which is the effect that I was looking for. Okay, there we go. So we've got a little bit of a gap there, but that's okay. I think if there is such a thing as a rubbish bin, I think there is in the game, then we can put one there and that'll look kind of like a, you know, it's not a totally wasted corner, or maybe a plant or something like that. There we are. And then we've got a nice free window that we can look out of, which is the whole point really. And then we've got a bit of a gap here because I want to see if I can put our cooker there. And then I'm going to put our fridge against this wall here. So we are going to get our... Woo, there they are. Metal blocks now. I think I only want this to be... Let's just stick it straight in the middle here. I think we only really need this to be so tall, don't we? Like that. We're going to need to repair to our workshop area again in order to apply, to make a poster. In fact, do we need to make a poster from... I think we do, don't we? I don't think we can make... No, I think we need to make a poster from our... down the stairs. From our furniture bench, is it? I forget now. Miscellaneous poster, decoration. It's not in there. It's somewhere really quite random, if I remember rightly. Yeah, it's random. It's in the normal crafting bench. So there we go. Let's just make a bunch of these at the moment. Now, of course, it takes paper to do these. And I have got some paper because I brought it from the castle in preparation. Now we're going to just put a few of these in here because they don't stack, which is really quite annoying actually. We'll keep a couple on us. That they do take up quite a lot of space. So of course we've got cabinets here. We can put some in there now. Let's just see. Oh no, we hit that. There we go. Okay, we're going to use that image there because we can get ourselves a nice funky green fridge then. And we just need to expand it to perfectly cover the metal. Is that right? I don't know. We're just going to have to... Is that just about perfect? Grill, there we go. Now we've got our smoker in the garden, but if we can construct ourselves some sort of an oven around this doohickey, that would be another way of cooking inside the house. If, for example, it's raining, or inside the lighthouse, obviously. Iron plate and iron rod. Okay, so we're going to go over here to our anvil, make ourselves a few of these, and make ourselves a few iron rods. Oh, you know what? We're going to have to do that again, aren't we? And make ourselves a few iron rods as well. There we go, and we should have enough to make one now. There we are. And the other thing we're going to have to make while we're here, no, this one I think, construction. We're going to need to make ourselves some window frames. Same here, of course. Okay, now I don't know that grid is going to be particularly helpful here. No, it isn't. So we're going to turn that off again. And we need to get this to the right height, which is that height there. Whoopsie, that is not what I meant. Thank you. Can we get it lower than that without it being too low? And we need to put that one there, and then we need to flip this one, which that is not quite what I meant. I meant just to... Okay, for some reason it's going round and round in circles. I hate it when they do this. After much trial and error, I finally got it, so it's vaguely where we want it. Now all we need to do is try and get this in there, which may or may not work. We've got it kind of clipping through a little bit there, which isn't ideal. Perhaps, I think it's about the right height, however, so I don't suppose it'll make... now, yes, it makes a difference. If we put it that way round, then it won't clip through because the handles aren't sticking out. So that's great, actually. We'll put it that way around. There we are. And then we're able to... Oh, we just turned it on. There we go. Let's just turn it back off again. There we go. We're able to do that. And then, of course, we're going to need to place this again. Now, this time, we're going to want an oven image. There we go. There's our oven front. And then we're going to need another image at the top there. And this one, obviously, is going to need to be a hob. Alright, I don't know if I can turn that around at all. Can I? Can I turn that around? Because that's not going to be the right way around, is it? We need the knobs at the side, really, but it's not going to... Oh, well, actually, yeah, they are already at the side, so that's cool. Now, what we need to do is try and put this inside. Now that is working, actually, so that's great. And, of course, we can see... Yeah, we can see the grill through the top, but that is what we need to happen in point of fact, because if that doesn't happen, then we can't actually access it. I've learned the hard way about that one. Okay, so it's not a perfect job, and in a way we'd be better off with the surrounding bit there being made out of metal, but of course we can't do that. That's not an option in game. And then what we need to do really is to try and finish this area off by placing another, and that's not going to snap, of course, placing another cabinet here. And I think that, can't go any further back, I think that's pretty much it. So we'll place that there. And then maybe we're going to place this little one on the end here. Or perhaps actually it looks pretty good the way it is. Yeah, I think maybe it does. Maybe it does. I wonder if we should put some drawers either side of our fridge here. Oops, perhaps not that way. Like that. So we're going to want to put some shelving in here, really. So that's going to mean making a few wood plank shelves. And given it's a different room, it's not going to matter over much what... No, we want construction, don't we? We want wood planks. Here we go. It's not going to matter over much what colour wood we use, but I quite like the look of that. So let's see. Oh, we're 32. Oh, and I don't think so. I don't think we need to make quite that many. I think at this point we'll be quite all right with just a dozen of them. And then we'll go see if we can put those up here. And then if anybody saw my castle build, you'll know that you can put posters to great effect now this I will use G. You can put posters to great effect to try and replicate sort of objects that are a bit of clutter in the world. If, like me, you like to have a bit of clutter, because I do love to have a bit of clutter. Now, first of all, makes a place look lived in, you know. We're not going to want a shelf any lower than that, I don't think, because let's make it long as possible. It's not going to be long enough to fill that gap, is it? No, it ain't, but there we go. We'll make a few of these, or at least make 2 of these, like that, I think. There we go. And then I may as well, to stop them from clipping through each other too much, because it kind of looks a bit weird. We'll just see if we can make that the right length. There we go. And then we've got 2 long shelves that fill that entire wall, and then it's big enough space underneath that we can place containers. So I don't know what kind of containers are going to be. Crates, I think probably crates for there, in point of fact. And then where else we're going to want shelves? We're going to want shelves along this wall here as well, possibly, or maybe this wall next the door. I think perhaps here next door. And we might even find that these are long enough to fill. Yeah, they fill the space, but you know what? I think, in point of fact, I'd quite like to make this. Let's see, what we got that for, kind of. Let's make it the same, and then we have that kind of height there. And then what I'd like to do here, oh no, that is not what I want. And neither's that. Okay, so I need to rotate this the other way. Let's just turn it like this, and then like that. Sometimes it really does take quite a lot of fiddling about until you get these to do what you want them to do. And I would quite like to have, and that's going a bit special now because I've got grids on, so we'll turn it off. But yeah, what I really want is that to stop having a fit. But if we can have it there, I just want to turn, well, to just make that a little bit shorter because it's a bit too long at the moment. There we go, finally. Wow, that took a little bit of placing, I have to say, but that is what we want there. A shelf end really kind of needed on that one because it doesn't go from wall to wall. Wow, so we've got lots of shelving here. And as I say, I mean, in the absence of actual objects to place here, oh my goodness, I've just noticed that these actually don't match up either, do they? So I'm going to have to, that is so annoying. I don't quite know how that has happened. Let's just see if we can remedy those ones as well while we're at it. Okay, there we go. So we've got 2 sets of shelves here, which means we've got lots and lots of storage capacity. So now what we need to do is make a few, I don't know, crates or suitable looking containers for around here. In the absence of objects to place on the shelves, what I will do is sort of put a few little posters around like we did at the castle, just to make it look like we have some things in there. But first of all, let's get ourselves some crates. Let's just see, containers. And of course we've got our crates, so we've got small, and we've got medium, and we've got large, but I don't think we really need a large crate at this point. I think we probably will be fine with, you know, sort of a rather smaller one. Can put our barrel here perhaps. Let's just put it a little bit closer to the wall. And our chest can go underneath here like that. And then we've got some small chests and a medium one as well. So let's see what they're going to look like. Oops, no, I didn't mean to open that. And I didn't mean to drop that on the floor. Okay, so we'll place this here. I might just turn it at a slightly rakish angle like that. And then we'll put the bigger one sort of here. Let's just turn that so it's straight. Now, what I do want to do before we get on to anything very much more, we're going to have a dining area here. So we're going to put a table there, and we're going to place sort of a rug, obviously, and things as well, and table and chairs. And then over here is going to be our sitting area. So we're going to have it's couches and things. But ideally, I would like to place a stove here. I'm quite a fan of sort of stoves and things. But before we do anything else, let's get our dining area sorted out. So we're going to have a table of appropriately sort of dining type style. No, where are you? We don't want a small table at this point. Okay, now I like that wood grain there, and I believe that kind of ties in with the kitchen cabinets, so we're going to go for that. Seating, we want some chairs, don't we? And again, we're going to go for the same grain. There we are. And of course, we're going to want some more posters as well. And we did make a few of those earlier, so we'll just grab a few of those in here now. And then, oh, get that out of my face. And I'm under the stairs. And then we will try and place those up here. Let's see. Are we going to have to place our rug first? Let's just get ourselves a nice modern looking rug image. There we go. Now, obviously, this needs extending somewhat. We'll just turn it around so it's straight as well. And we'll make it long enough and wide enough. And I don't know, grid doesn't even really apply to posters. So we will make that as big as, whoops. Let's just make it a fairly decent size like this. It's going to get a little bit low res if we go much bigger than that. So let's just make it a little bit smaller actually. Okay, that'll do, and that's more or less in the middle there. So let's just place that down, and then we're going to put our dining table on it, and it's kind of a shame that we can't make our dining table bigger as well. Let's just make sure that's in the middle. Now, I don't think that that's really going to help, is it? But at least it helps us to put it vaguely. Okay, I think that's going to be about the middle there. Let's hope so. We can pick it up again if we don't, if we need to. And then maybe grid's going to help here, but to be honest, I don't think it is. I often find that the easiest way of placing chairs, roughly where you want them, is actually to stand on the table, which is terribly uncouth of me, I know. There we go. And then we need that the opposite way around. There we are. It doesn't matter if our chairs aren't perfectly aligned in any case, because if they were perfectly aligned, it wouldn't look particularly natural, would it? Now, onto the stove. So we're going to put some sort of a fireplace here. And I would like it to be quite modern, really. And I've got an idea, but I don't know how well it's going to turn out. So we're going to just give it a bit of a go. Alright, so we've got some fairly modern looking blocks here, and that is bang center, which is great. That's exactly what we want. And we also want to place these like that. Whether I want to put anything else above that immediately, I'm not sure. Let's just try and see how this works out if we do that. Now, that's not big enough, actually, so we're going to need to rethink that. Really not that large, is it? You wouldn't have thought, but it's just a bit too large for that. So let's get our, oh my goodness, over there. There we go. We'll pick this up and we'll try that again. Okay, and then we'll place these blocks again. So we've got dead center there. We're going to need to do that, and we're going to need to turn this way around like so, and do that, and then that will go there, but we're going to need 2 more blocks, of course, square blocks here either side of it. So let's get that sorted. Okay, let's try finishing this off. There we go. Let's just see. Grid. No, it always looks a bit wonky if I place it on grid, really. There we go. We'll put that there, pretty much in the middle. There we are. Always lends a lovely ambiance to a home, I feel. Now, what we're going to do now, that is not right. I actually want that. What we're going to do now, and this is a bit of an experiment, really. Oh, let me put grid on for this. That is not what I meant either. What is going on there? Okay, let's just hit backspace and get that the right way around again. And we want this taller and narrower. And what I really want to do here, not that tall perhaps. Yeah, something more like that. What we're aiming for here is, I would like it to be sort of fairly, I don't know, fairly modern looking. And maybe that's the right kind of height. And then if we turn this on the diagonal, we're going to need to make it a little bit wider, of course, because the diagonal plane is always broader. There we go. That's pretty much what I meant. Finally got there. Took a little bit of doing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sort of, I don't know, probably the best thing to do is to replicate what I've got down here up there to finish the job off. But what I was really wanting to do was kind of glaze that in there. So it's kind of an enclosed modern stove, or kind of doing a reasonably good impression of one anyway. And then up here, I guess we try and do something, yeah, to sort of make this match up at the top. I'm not sure what the best thing is to do there, and I may again have to mess about with that off camera, because otherwise we're going to be sort of doing this for a really quite a long time. So I might have to put one there maybe, and I don't know. I'm not quite sure what's best to do with that now. Yeah, I will have a look. I will have a look at doing that, something with that to finish that off. I'm not quite sure what. I think we've got corner little blocks there, haven't we, that we'll be able to do there. That isn't going to quite meet up, is the frustrating thing. And we don't have, if I do that, and then that, yeah, it sort of clips through a little bit. But again, it's a question of, am I really that bothered about that? Like so. Yeah, that's not far off what I meant, actually. That's really not far off what I meant at all. And then I've also got this for up there, which basically is a metal flue pipe. Nice. So that's just kind of to finish it off and make it look like it's going on up into the ceiling. Now, yeah, the one thing I would probably change, obviously, now is to put the wood in, the wooden panes and the glass and things in afterwards, so they actually meet up. But again, that's a job for off camera for me. For the moment, what I need to do is empty out my inventory a little bit, and then we're going to finish the job off. Oh, look at that. But isn't it cozy in here? At least it will be when we're done. We're going to finish the job off by building some more furniture in here. Obviously, we need probably some bookshelves either side of our fireplace, because that's the way things should go, if you ask me. And we're also going to need another rug on the floor. We're going to need couch, chairs, that kind of thing, and probably some little occasional tables and stuff as well. And now we'll call it good. So I will catch up with you guys when I've emptied my inventory. As you can see, I've straightened out our stove now, so the glass now marries up nicely. What I'm going to want to put, yeah, we've got some shelves here of suitably modern construction, and I will use a grid for these, oops, just to make sure that they're kind of evenly either side of our fireplace like that. There we are, lovely. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then the next thing to place is probably yet another rug. And for this one, I think actually we'll have a round one. There we are. And we just have to make sure that it's actually round, which means making it as broad as it is long. And I think we'll just make it a little bit smaller in that direction as well. Oops, that's the wrong direction. Okay, I think that's round. Let's just stick it on the wall because then we can see it, oops, a little better. Okay, I think that is now properly circular. Let's just see where this wants to go. We have, of course, got a slightly peculiarly shaped room here. So trying to get this absolutely right is going to be, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a non-starter, but there we are. So we're going to need a couple of chairs and a couch. I think we're going to have our sofa probably on this elevation maybe, and a couple of chairs, like one there and one there, just so that we can have a sort of a nice little sitting area there. And meanwhile, I've got a couple of little end tables here, just because I thought we could probably do with a table here, for example. It just looks like we could do with like a foam table or something. Look at that. We could actually possibly put one of these on top of the other. That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it, if we could make shelves like that? But I don't think it really wants to go. Okay, fair enough. And I thought maybe possibly a table would look quite nice there as well. There we are. I also think we've probably got enough space here against this wall to put a piano, so that is what we will do. But first, we're going to need to get ourselves a couch. Now, in order to make a couch, hello, in this one, yes. Yeah, I'd love one of those as well, but we're going to have to get some, we haven't got any gold here, so that's going to have to wait. So for our couch, we're going to need some cloth. Hello, where did I put it? Oh yes, in components over here. We're going to need some cloth, and I brought some of that over. We haven't got a spinning wheel or anything. We'll probably put one in, to be honest, so that we can make things more easily in future, and I don't have to keep lugging everything from the castle. We'll get some cloth here, and we're going to need that for making our furniture with. There is a piano. Oh, now. Should we have a black one, actually? Do we think a black one would look quite groovy? Yeah, I think so. And let's have, seating. Couch. And what kind of couch do we want? Well, there's various colours, including white, which is perhaps going to be a bit too stark as well. Stop revolving. Red. I don't know, maybe red is going to look good with our, and that's kind of leather, isn't it? With our colour, I'm not sure. Let's just think on that one. I want to put my piano upstairs anyway. Gosh grief, I can't actually see what I'm doing. Piano, piano, piano. Here we are. Let's just turn this around. There we are. And that is pretty much where we want our piano. Let's just move it over there a little. There we go. So that's in got plenty of space now. Bong, there we go. And then yeah, we're gonna need, let's see, red would tie in nicely with our rug actually, but the leather ones might look quite nice as well actually. Let's go with the leather ones. I don't think we need any actual leather to make that colour. Let's just see. It's this one here, isn't it? Let's see what that looks like. And then we're gonna need armchairs in the same colour, unless we want giraffe skin, but not frankly, no. And we'll have 2 of those. Fabulous. Okay, let's see if these will actually fit, because sometimes these things can be absolutely vast. Actually, maybe this is going to look better on a diagonal here, isn't it? Yes, it is. So let's do that. Let's just make sure we get it kind of straight. Like so. Good colour choice. Sometimes I get it right. Okay. And we've got some chairs. And actually, we can place one of them here against this wall. That is going to fit nicely. As for the other, I'm not sure whether it'll fit at all, in point of fact. Let's just see. If we put it there, it's going to sort of completely block those shelves. So maybe the chair isn't really going to fit there. So maybe we're a little bit over enthusiastic there. Maybe I can place that somewhere else. Okay, I think that's better there. There we go. And I think we'll have some nice modern artworks on the walls here as well. But I haven't at the moment got a picture frame. We've got a few in spare in storage in the wood that we've got for the window frames. I think I've got about 3 or 4 of those left, so that's going to be quite good. We're obviously going to need a bunch of them on that wall right there. And then we're going to need some decorative items, and we're also going to need lighting around here. This is looking pretty nice actually. I'm quite happy with that. I might still be fiddling with the placing of that chair there, but mostly this is looking nice and I'm happy with it. We need some lighting. particularly for our kitchen here. Let's just see what we have in the miscellaneous tab here, or the decorative and miscellaneous. Okay, so we're going to place this in the middle of our, we probably want it to be roughly above that, don't we? In the middle of our living area, and I think that's about there. Again, we can shift it if we need to, and I like the way that they sort of turn around as well. Having something moving there is lovely. I've got this vase, which I'm planning on placing on this table here. Put it as centrally as possible. There we go. Super. It's absolutely enormous, but hey. I'm not sure if we could place a plant on these shelves. We probably can't. Nope. No, we can't. We could probably put one on here, which would look quite nice, actually. Should we do that? That might look quite nice, actually. We could put them on places like this. But this is quite a small one, so I'd envisage putting this one sort of in the kitchen about there. So we'll put that there. Oh, I'm dying of thirst again. Here we go. And then what else we've got? We've got several other plants, so let's just see if we can find a home for all of those. I think maybe the round one here might look quite good on the table by the door. We've got a large one here which needs to go, given there is no bin or anything of that kind, probably needs to go there in that corner to make it really look like there's less of a hole. And then we have another large one which may possibly look nice there. Again, if we change our minds, we can always move it, but I quite like that in point of fact. And then I just thought I might try placing the odd picture. So there we go. Let's just put that on grid so we can see what we're about. And then we need to more or less fill this space above the sofa with that. Does it need to go a little bit? Yeah, it needs to be a little bit. Oopsie. I'm going to take that off grid actually because I can't get it central. And there's pretty perfect. And then we're going to, here. That doesn't quite fit obviously, but we're going to get ourselves a nice modern art image there. There we go. There we go. Very bright coloured, lovely, primal. And we can get another one, and we were planning on placing one more or less the other way up in here. I will put that on grid. Oopsie, not what I meant. I will just reshape and resize that, I think, to suit. So we want a fairly tall one in there, but perhaps not quite that tall. Let's try take it off grid, place it there, and then I'm going to need to try and find something that's going to fit that. And that Matisse fits it pretty well actually, so that's nice. Okay, there we go. We may well have some more art here as well. I'll also say what it really needs there is some overhead cabinets. And what I might try and do, and I haven't got them with me at the moment, these cupboards here, I'm just wondering if they can be persuaded to clip through the ceiling a tad to be able to sort of look like overhead cabinets there, because that is what is really called for in that location. But there you go. Now the only thing we have got left to do, and it's night time, so this is the ideal time to do this, is place some lighting. Now this area is very nicely lit already, I think, but the kitchen of course needs to be a bit brighter, and we need something above our dining table as well. Okay, here we go. So we've got one floor lamp here, which the obvious place to put it to me is kind of here next to our stairwell. There we go, fantastic. And then we've got some wall lights here, which I think probably we'll put grid so we get them definitely go in the appropriate places in the same height there. And that's there, isn't it? So we'll just make sure that these are going to be, yeah, where they ought to be. We've got one there, because these cannot, once you've placed them, be moved. And then we'll put one there, and then we'll put one at the other side as well, like so. And that's pretty much evenly spaced. There we are. And then we'll do the same on the opposite side of this window here. And that uses up all of those, and that's nice and brightly lit here. Oh no, we're going to need a light in there as well, but I'll probably put a ceiling light in there. We've actually got a ceiling light left over, so I will just place that in there. And then I thought, because there's nothing really that's nice for lighting, we're going to have a picture there in the middle, so we'll avoid the middle, and we'll place these again on the same kind of height, and we'll put one there, and then one on the opposite side about there, which should be nice and symmetrical. There we are. And then we can put a, whoops, falling down the stairs, we can place a picture in the middle there. And again, I might have to just sort of move this lot this way ever so slightly, because unfortunately it isn't very central at the moment, and that does kind of bother me. But there we go, folks. I think we've got plenty of lighting in here now. I don't think we need any more of it. If I had a poster, I'd probably place a doormat in front of the door, just because it looks like we need one for the moment. But other than that, that is this level completed. So it's taken a bit of doing, but there we are. I'm going to need to get some more resources for the next time we do an episode. And the next episode, of course, is going to be this level here, which is going to be, we've got a nice big open landing here, and this is probably where it's going to be a good idea to place some sort of crafting stations, like for example a spinning wheel might not look out of place in one of these corners here. And then of course we've got our bedrooms, two of them. We've got the master bedroom and the other bedroom, and we've got the bathroom in the middle of them. And if we get chance next time, if we're not doing anything too complex, maybe we'll be able to do the level above that, which is going to be a study workroom as well. But for now, this has been quite enough. It's looking even nicer than I thought we'd managed to get it to look. To be honest, it's amazing the difference a few furnishings can really make. Yeah, as I say, I'm going to put a ceiling light like the ones we've got downstairs in here, so that we've got lighting in the pantry as well, and I might possibly put a few little fake objects on our shelves there as well. Let's hope we get some clutter options in the game soon, because it really does make a difference to have some objects around the place, as you can see. So I hope you guys like what I'm doing with the place. If you do and you enjoyed this video, don't forget to let me know by hitting that like button. Also feel free as ever, leave me your hints, tips, comments and suggestions for future builds. And until you join me for the next episode, keep gaming, keep surviving and stay happy. Bye bye for now.